All right. Everything up, everything up. Okay. Greetings, everyone. This is your spiritual consultant, your Shad'Oracle, MadamShadO, here in the Shadow Gallery with the Hellpaws as per usual. If you would like to book your private session, you may do so at my website, www.MadamShadO.com. No W in Shad'O. If you put a W in Shad'O, I'm not responsible where you go, where you end up. Hold on. How dare? How dare you? Um, if you would like to purchase your live pool, book your session, book a reading, you may do so at my website, www.MadamShadO.com. No W in Shad'O. If you put a W in Shad'O, I'm not responsible where you go, where you end up. Of course, love me, like me, share me, subscribe to me, turn notifications on so you know when I go live. Join me on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Big O, Facebook, all of them, baby. I'm there. If you're on Big O, by all means, wear my tag loudly and proudly. What's going on, Toxic? So, by all means, let the games begin. Now, like I said on Big O, I am doing it differently. If you, matter of fact, let me make sure it came up. Ha! It came up. Kiara, what's going on? ID channel, what's going on? Alex, what's going on? MD, what's going on, sugar? So as you can see by my new profile picture that pops up, you now have the price list for items that are available for purchase on my website. Big O, do the math. Is it easier to purchase directly from me, or is it easier to purchase gems and all this other kind of stuff to factor into what you think it's going to be? Because it's not. We have already done the math. I have the chart accordingly. Should we go through? I think we should. For you to send me $5 on Big O, you would have to purchase 276 diamonds, which is about $7. That is the equivalent of my yes no pool on my website, which is only $5. Isn't it easy to purchase directly from me? Anyway, Chad, what's going on, sugar? Welcome, welcome. You now see the prices. I have tweaked my page a little bit. Let's pull it up. Now when you go to my page, if you hover over services, you will see confirmation videos that I've already done, testimonials from different people. When you go to book online and hover over it, I have now put the Cash App donations page and the PayPal donations page directly under it. It will open up a separate page. Live readings is still the same. Under frequently asked questions, you can click frequently asked questions and bring up all the questions that I think I tend to get. Then underneath it, when you hover over frequently asked questions, you will see the cancellation policy and the return policy. Under home, you hover over that and you will see the announcements. So, yeah, it's pretty streamlined. Mm-hmm. I think I did a good job on it. And there is a sign in page where if you would like to go ahead and just become a member and purchase your pools quickly, because once the pace starts picking up, baby, these, I'm guaranteeing these readings will start selling out like hell. I'm not even guessing on that. I'm speaking that into existence because I know it's going to happen. It'll be much easier if you already had your profile set up on my page. That way you can just pop it in your cart and pay for it and go. Making big moves here. No time to slow down. Now, if you are on anything other than Big O, well, for y'all too, go to the page, book your session, book your question, purchase your live pool. Now, I will be answering a few questions on Big O for free. But as far as if you want to guarantee I read you on Big O, go to my website and purchase it. Like, it's just so much easier. I get you want to send horses, mosquitoes, panda bears, all that kind of stuff. That's cool. That's cute. That's that's good. However, it's just much easier to book directly from me. Like I said, I don't know how long I will do this hosting thing on here. Mother Moon, what's going on, sugar? Like I said, if you want to guarantee that I read you on Big O, purchase on my website. Booby? Because I don't think it's boob. Maybe it's boob. I think it's booby though. But what's going on, honey? Yeah, I think it's boob. But anyway, if you want to ask your questions, ask them. The only ones that are guaranteed to be actually answered are the ones that pay for their readings. So by all means, ask your questions, and should Spirit want me to read you, I shall read you. Toxic, what is your question? And Big O, if you go to my page, you will see I did put up a picture of the full price list on there. Can't beat it with stick. Let me get this thing because I keep forgetting this. I keep forgetting this card. Jordan, what's going on? DC, what's going on? Pretty, what's going on? By all means, ask your questions. Okay, I think I need therapy. So look, I have this thing where I'll sit here and like I'll follow random good looking guys on Instagram, right? But the second I see a female in any picture or a baby, I immediately unfollow. I'm just like, ugh. I think I have issues. Oh, he's bi. Oh, she got issues. I don't know or care. Mm-mm. Oh, this is a cute lunchbox. Like this would be like badass for a picnic. It was pretty good. Steve, what's going on? Yeah, it was a pretty good day. Ooh, a walk. A walk, a walk, a walk. To this thing here. Cash, what's going on, honey? I mean, these are some really cute. Like, this would be a cute. Okay, I'm weird because I really want an old school picnic basket, like the one Dorothy had Toto ass in. I really want one of those. The nice old school red and white checkerboard. Yeah. But these would be cute. Oh hell no, we don't go in the wilderness, baby. I'm the wrong color to go out there. Mm. It'll be some bears out there just waiting for some good old dog meat to come out there. It's like, oh, we got one. Nah, hell, not today. Like, I don't even go places where it's too many bugs. I don't do bugs. So if we happen to go anywhere that has bugs, you just forget it. Man, last night I was tired. I don't know what the fuck happened. All I know is I was exhausted. I slept damn near the entire day. Do I don't go in the backyard? Look here. It's like if I have to, I go out there. I'm not studying you. Just understand. Trigger Tai Chi. That's what I know very well. They have Jack Skellington. Move, Minnie. I don't want to see you. I want to see Jack. Where's Jack? All this mini Mickey Mouse shit. Where is Jack Skellington? There we go. They have a Jack Skellington tumbler. This time. This time. Making Christmas. Making Christmas. Making Christmas. Making Christmas. It's so fun. Inside this time, and won't the children be surprised? It's ours this time. All together, that and this, with all our tricks, we're making Christmas time. Victor, what's going on? Rich, what's going on? Yeah, we two different black baby. I don't do bugs. I wouldn't mind going out like in the elements if the elements weren't so elementy. Like, baby, this is how I knew I wouldn't have been the right type of slave, baby. I don't do heat. It's humid. It's sticky, baby. It's too bright. No, I'm the Hillary Banks of slaves, apparently. I wouldn't have lasted. I'd have melted right on the spot. I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know now. I'm the wrong type of black, baby. I'm just, mm-mm. It's too much sun out. DM, what's going on? It's too much sun out. It's humid. Do we have to get all of the cotton? You don't want just this section here? What about if we just cut the cotton thing here and then I can just give you that and you can pick out what you want? Like, I'm the wrong type of person. Nah, Ricky, baby, what's going on? I'm the wrong one. Mm-mm. And then my allergies? Oh, hell no. Y'all trying to get me killed. Rodney, what's going on? Mm-mm. Sit here, face blow up like a goddamn pufferfish. I can't see or breathe. And you want me to work in this hot ass sun? Baby, I just like, okay, I just got my hair straightened. Can we schedule this for another day? Like, I'm the wrong way. I'm not studying you, toxic. It's like, whew, honey. I think I don't know what the hell I was thinking as a kid. I wonder if your pain and heat tolerance changes as you become an adult. Cause thinking about what I did as a kid, like being outside, riding bikes, okay, that's a different thing. Skating, that's a different thing. But I was in marching band, and honey, finally, what's going on? Oh, finally, Rich, what's going on? Tasha, you are just so sure you gonna have me. I was in marching band. Honey, I was in chorus, handbells, strings, marching band, jazz band, concert band. And when I got in our high school marching band, was the year like the 12th graders was, leaving. So we did not have a piccolo player anymore. And she could, when I say she used to blow that damn thing, I used to try to learn and I realized how much air it takes to do that and to march. So, and it was just so damn little. Like, I used to practice on it. I said, you know what? I'm going to take this damn flute and I'm going to make it sound like a damn piccolo. And learn how to play very high on the flute. And left it at that. And, like, I shocked the shit out of them all, like, everybody in the band. Because it was one part in the song where our piccolo would trill. And when she would trill, like, no one can hit the trill because we didn't have the piccolo player anymore. And she took the piccolo with her. So I learned how to trill real high on the flute. Baby, I did that. Everybody was like, what the fuck was that? Like, who got a piccolo? I was like, nah, baby, that's the flute. Do it again. Trill that. It was like, honey. Oh, what's going on, Anna? What's going on? I still remember the fucking game that we played. We had to go head to head. I mean, it was one of our rivals. I mean, we going head to head, baby. Our fucking percussion section, and then he's probably my second favorite. Well, I can't even compare them. I have two band directors that I absolutely love. The older one who taught me, and actually was the one who taught me, my brother, and my uncle when he was younger. Favorite. And then the band director that I had, actually he was there before. Okay, 3. When I got to high school, that one was just retiring or going to another school. I was pissed off. And then we got this new one, and he was the type, he was young and crazy as hell. He would fart on people. He was just that type of young. But his ass was with the shit. And he's a percussionist. So he doted on the percussion section. We played this fucking game. And their percussion section was sitting here trying out fucking people. Like, we was just riding in. They sitting here, boom, and looking at us and shit, and making the gunshot. I was like, oh. And he looked, and he got our quad player and the twins that I know, the 2 snare players. He said, okay, so they want to play. He was our quad player. Our quad player had upgraded to being on Quince. He said, yo, y'all want to go do this? He was with the shit. Y'all go do it. Go do it, go do it, go do it. Took one. Only took our Quint player. Took him to the other, marched him to the other side, went around the track. By all means, we sitting here quiet as shit, looking like, oh, this shit about to go down now. They sitting here on snares. They on fucking they on snares. They on their fucking tenders. They on their fucking bass. Oh, they sitting here showing off. They just took our little quint player over there. They was like, oh shit, it's a challenge. They was like, wait, he's only taking one. Hell, we only need one. We only need one. And this quint player was also, he liked to fucking break dance. So while he's playing, he sits here, starts dropping down. I mean, look like he breaking his fucking knees and shit. But he goes over there and he just stands there. So they start over the boom, boom, boom. And then he's just going around and around and starts breaking dancing. And every time he doesn't miss a step, dancing around the fucking queen. Took the fucking shit out, put the shit back on. And they just sat down. Our one quint player sat a whole fucking percussion section down. Tubas, cymbals, dancers, and all. And just walked back over. Everybody was like, ooh. They just stayed quiet. It was like, what we got? So, of course, now that their percussion section is down, the other sections have to make up for it. Then it was our trumpets and trombones against, like, our brass section against their brass section. We didn't have, like, a terribly huge brass section because at this point, no, we did. We still had a pretty nice brass section, but there's, as big as they were, you could not hear them. And you're hearing plap, plap, like very loose lip playing. Very loose lip playing. You can hear it sounds like splats when they're playing. Plap, plap. It's like tying your embouchure, baby, tying your embouchure. We played a fucking song. This time our fucking drum, or not the drum majors, but the band director looked and he pointed at me. He was like, get your flute. Because I was on sax. But I always brought my flute with me. Like, I went back and forth between the two instruments. Get the flute. Get the flute. Warm it up. So I go ahead and get the flute. We have no flutes. They had a couple of flutes. No flutes. It was only me. We had no piccolos. Only me. We start playing these damn songs. We get to the point, and they are ready for it. Everybody starts looking like, and the trumpets are playing loud, baby. So if you can hear a flute over the trumpets, you got some fucking breath. Everybody's getting it. It comes to it. They look at me. They sit here keeping time. Looking at me. And the band director said, blow their ass out. Blow their ass out. Like, he wanted me to blow my fucking lips out. He wanted me to basically blow the embouchure. To have my lips that tight to hit the note that I was going to hit, yeah, I was going to be done. Yeah. Honey, we get to that fucking point. Mind you, in band, all the parents, everybody know the band. They already know the song and everything. Honey, we get to that point and I hit that damn trill. Everybody stops like. And then the fucking band ain't no damn good because they hyping this shit up. Like, I done hit 2 damn trills that I didn't even know I could hit. I'm fucking this damn song up, honey. Then we get finished. Everybody was like, ooh, do that shit again. Fuck you. You know how much air that takes. Like, after that, we had to sit down. He was like, he made sure our fucking band director ain't no fucking good. He made sure he left us. We're on this side. He pointed at me. He said, I need to hear you over there. What? I need to hear you over there. Shit, say less, enough said. He then goes all the way to their side. When I hit that trill, all he did was walk back. At the end of the fucking game, their band director came over to us. And he was looking, Chef Antonio, what's going on? D Scorps, Mike, K, what's going on? He asked them, he said, hey, where's your piccolo player? And he bragging like a motherfucker. He said, we ain't got no piccolos. Their whole woodwind section stopped, and they were like, yes, the fuck you do. We heard it. He said, we don't have a piccolo player. Our piccolo player graduated last year. So who's playing the piccolo? He said, we don't have one. And they're like, then what the fuck was that? They said, we have a flute player. They said, nah. You don't. Nah, you have a piccolo player somewhere. They would not listen to the fucking band director. He goes to the fucking bus, finds me, pulls me off the bus. He says, get your flute. Pulls me off the bus because they're not listening. Their band director don't believe it. He said, literally, I need y'all to run this song again. Goes ahead and runs the song, gets to the trill. And when I play it, they're like, you can do that on a flute? Hell yes. Who can't? When you're practicing, you can. The rat, what's going on? When you're practicing, you can. Baby, that was a fun game. They couldn't believe that shit. They had a girl try to, oh my God, the next time we played them, they had one of theirs try it. Honey, you could hear when she lost her fucking embouchure. She never got as high as I did. She played it lower and was like, I said, what the fuck is she doing? I'm like, I'm not, like, what is she's trying, so she tried to cheat. She tried to cheat. When she tried to hit her trill, she tried to trill with her tongue into the flute. You lose your embouchure like that. So she kept going in and out of the note. Honey, those fun days. Fun days. The amount of bands we sat down. Oh, it was Velvet Rope, if I remember right. What? See Ride or Cry? What's going on, honey? Sweet, what's going on? Lord. Virgo baby, what's going on? There are some things you miss about childhood. But baby, I don't miss them days being in full fucking suit. Being in full gear, spats and all. I mean, them suits was hot, honey. They were hot. And playing, oh my God, we had to take the field and it was raining. I still remember that damn game. It's the same fucking field. You have to start in. We started in from the opposite side. Walked in. Child, when I say they told us, because we watched the other team as they did their fucking band dance. And he told us, he said, all right, y'all, listen. The ground is wet. It's muddy. So be careful. You know, you might slip. He said, just get back up. Tubas, percussion, y'all be careful. Everybody be careful of your instrument. Baby, I still remember we did this fucking band, and our band dance, we had to run. And I still remember we ran backwards, then we ran forward. Baby, when I say that leg came off from under me, I did a full split that I did not know I could do and popped back up, still in motion. I had my flute then. Lord, thank you. I think I had. Did I have my flute? I think I had the flute because the saxes were behind me. But I just so happened able to split, kept the fucking instrument in the air, kept going. Yes, but then he said, did you fall? When? I don't fall. Looked at the fucking pants, you just saw like a little drop of mud on the shoes and the pants. But then if you looked at the back of that leg, honey, pants was black, but the whole back side of my leg was brown from that damn slide. All I know, he was like, hey, you couldn't tell. Yeah, everybody thought I was doing a split. Everybody was, oh shit, do it again. Do it again. I guess you peeking. So what's going on? And arrogant, what's going on? See, you take the kid out the band, but you can't take the band out the kid. But by all means, ask your questions. But by all means, ask your questions. Oh, hell yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, Jay. This is to inform you that we have been advised that you have been released for the solar project. Please do not report back to the site as you will be turned away. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at the office. Thank you. Cause what? I'm sorry to inform you, I will be at work tomorrow because y'all got me fucked up. I'm taking everything I put up down, and y'all can get somebody at y'all hire to put it back up. Cause y'all don't let nobody work no whole day. Then when you leave, then when we leave, you send a message. Y'all so childish. See you in the morning. Thank you. El reloj. What's going on, honey? These are kind of cute. I guess ain't nobody got no questions, so I guess I'll just be here and get my hours. If she held on tight to Jack like this in the Titanic, maybe he would have survived. Y'all stupid as shit. Hold up. Oh shit, he done took the hood off. Shit done got real. Fire 'em up. Fire 'em up. Yeah. Uh. Ah. Ah. Ooh. Your legs don't do that no more, honey. Oh. Oh. Hey. Hey. Oh. 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 Y'all want none? Y'all want none? I swear huskies are so fucking funny. Cop ain't with this shit. Alright, they gonna piss on you. Like he doesn't care. And got all in your face about it. Leah, what's going on? Dap, what's going on? That one is so instant. Oh my god. Oh shit. There we go. When the band director heard you mess up in the middle of a field show. Hell, Owls didn't do shit but say remix. Like he never ever made a scene. The I well, I went to high school. We had one band director. By the time I got to high school, he was either retiring or he was going to another school. So we ended up with another band director, but he didn't call us out. Like we hit a note or like a note, it's like he was like, "Look, no matter what, if it sound like a mess up, you play that shit off." then you make it sound like you just getting better and better, like pump, pump, and then crank up the engine or something. But yeah, he was like, play that shit off. And the band director we had after him, honey, all the fun went out the window. Like, we had an older band director who left before I got there. Then we had like a young one, and then another older one. The young one was about the bullshit. He was about the going at bands. He didn't back down from a challenge. The one we had after that was all just fly the bumblebee. Like, don't nobody want to hear no goddamn Moonlight Sonata at no damn band. Like, nobody want to hear this at no football game. Then he made the jazz band. Everything was pretty cool, but Nguyen, what's going on? It was like all the fun went out. Band was not the same. My look. Well, thank you, sugar. Sunny D, what's going on? Hood, what's going on, honey? Well, that by all means, y'all more than welcome to ask your questions. It's on the stand. Those who pay for it are the ones who get pushed to the front of the line. Carrie, welcome, honey. Do I get a family discount? How you figure? How you figure? Papa Oracle, how dare you, sir? How dare you? I've been waiting for your ass to come up in here. Do you know how fucked up that movie had me in the first fucking 2 minutes? Bruh, the way he said, why did he kill the little bird? I was so happy they blew his goddamn head up. The damn Suicide Squad. That damn, ooh, Papa, I'd have fuck you up for that one. I was so, look, I didn't give a damn about nothing else except the bird and the rat. I don't even like rats, but Sebastian, my homeboy. But how he fucked up that little bird, I was so glad that bird ate his goddamn bird. Dr. Sleep, bruh. First of all, what you not finna do is have, what's Dr. Sleep? Who is Dr. Sleep? Who is Dr. Sleep? Before you have me all fucked up on another damn. Who is Dr. Damn Sleep? Oh, this is like a horror movie. Oh, yeah! That's right! Oh my God, I forgot. Baby, first of all, I love Stephen King. I gotta get the book too. Oh, fuck. See, this is where shit fucks me up. I gotta get the book. I gotta get the fucking book. Baby, when I say I got all of Stephen King books, well, I got a lot of Stephen King books. Christine, oh, just all the classics. And then I'm trying to, this bookshelf on this side of the room is full of nothing but Stephen King and like one book of Alfred Hitchcock. But I want all the Stephen King books. I have to have the full fucking collection. I gotta get the full collection. I so forgot he was coming out with sequels to the books that he wrote in the beginning, like when he first started. Fuck, I forgot all about that. Okay, let me tell you something. First of all, I want you, because the book is in my room. Let me tell you something about this damn it here. So first of all, absolutely loved it. Loved it overall. Some of that shit, I'm like, I gotta reread my book because I know the first it had to be watered down because of the time period that it was in and everything. They couldn't exactly say some shit in there, but we knew which characters was fucking and all that kind of stuff. We knew what they were overall saying. I like the fact that the new it tried to stay as true to the book as possible with a lot of the themes. The only part I guess the only part that I didn't like, that it was trying to pay too much homage to other books of Stephen King, like the scene where Beverly Marsh was trapped in that toilet when she was young, and then it does the whole, every time she kicks it, it's another person, the here's Johnny type thing. Feel like it's taking a little bit away from, I get it, but that whole scene, then her, first of all, ain't no way in the hell you pulling Ben up one-handed. Ain't no way in the hell. Your little skinny ass snatched him up out this, ain't no way in hell. But I did like it. I was laughing like hell. I'm sorry, like, I love horror, but horror is, to me, my version of comedy. Because the shit be funny as hell to me most of the time. And me and my friend was talking about, it's like, I'm surprised they have not done Christine as a smart car. Because, baby, that, honey. Oh, well, friend, mind your business. Watching in the shower. You're watching it in the shower? Oh, okay. So, I mean, think about this. Christine, we all know Christine was a Plymouth Fury. Though they could not get the Plymouth Fury of that year because there was no Plymouth Fury the year that book that movie was made. They actually had to get it was a Belvedere and I forgot the other damn car. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they got those two cars to replace it. Just think if they had Christine as these new fucking smart cars, like them Elon Musk Teslas. It's so smart. Like, I feel like I know how they would do it and they would bastardize it. Because they would do it as a possession thing, like Chucky, where someone was driving the car and their soul was embedded in the car. Like, I don't want them to do that. I want to go buy the fucking movie or buy the book, which I have the book. Hold on. Oh, Christine, you are needed, dear. Look, when I say I'm that type of person, I need to have two of the books. I have to have two. Okay, I have to have two. I have to have two. Secret, what's going on? Mike, what's going on? I have to have two of the books. Like, literally, this has been like hair bows on it because technically this is like such an old book. It was falling apart. But I have to have two because I have to write in one. But, honey, y'all ass gonna get me. What is this? Rope Walker, what's going on? What is this? See? This is what I used to do. I didn't want to write in the book because I didn't have the second one at the time. So I would take a sheet of paper and write down words that I would, like, I didn't know. Like ingress and egress, alacrity. Matter of fact, Darnell. Matter of fact, this is why I say y'all need to read the books. So you remember the scene? Yeah, ingress and egress. I didn't know back then. I've had this book for a long time. So that's why I had the hair bows on it because all this coming off. Where is? Use this book instead. I'm just saying, if anybody happens to know Stephen King, hit his ass. Well, look, I'm gonna tell him right now. I'm gonna hit his ass with that Misery. I'm your number one fan. Yes, he wrote Misery. All the good fucking horror movies. I promise you, Stephen King wrote it. Misery, Stephen King. Cujo, Stephen King. Green Mile is Stephen King, and people don't know this shit. Green Mile actually came out more like a comic style thing. Comic is wrong because it's not comedy, but you know those old school comic, the block form. He actually wrote it like it was a series thing. Where is this fucking scene? Cause I promise you, is it Moochie? If I'm right, it's Moochie ass. Okay, look. Y'all remember the scene in Christine where Christine runs that boy over? Not Buddy Ripperton, not him. The fat boy in the gray hoodie. Surreal Life, what's going on? You remember that scene where he said he ran down the street, he decided he was gonna run into this little area, and it was like I don't know what he thought this was, but it was like just a little area, and he thought Christine could get in there because it was too small. Like Christine wasn't gonna wreck herself to get to him. So that's Moochie Welch. Let me tell you and show you why the movie does not do his whole thing justice. Listen to this here. And of course it starts with like she squeezed him into that space. Okay, Papa, sit back and listen to this here. And it always starts with a song, the lyrics for a song at that time. So this is Bo Diddley. The night was dark, the sky was blue, and down the alley an ice wagon flew. Door banged open, somebody screamed, you oughta heard just what I seen. Blueberry, what's going on about me? That's your question, honey. The Thursday after Thanksgiving was the last day of November. The night that Jackson Browne played the Pittsburgh Civic Center to a sellout crowd. Moochie Welch went up to Richie's Trelawney and Nikki Billingham, but got separated from them even before the show began. He was spare changing, and whether it was because the impending Brown concert had created some extremely mellow vibes, or because he was becoming something of an endearing fixture, Moochie, a romantic, liked to believe the latter. He had had a remarkably good night. He had collected nearly $30 worth of spare change. It was distributed among all his pockets. Moochie jingled like a piggy bank. Thumbing home had been remarkably easy, too, with all the traffic leaving the Civic Center. The concert ended at 11:40, and he was back in Libertyville shortly after 1:15. His last ride was with a young guy who was headed back to Prestonville on Route 63. The guy dropped him at the 376 ramp on JFK Drive. Moochie decided to walk up, this is the scene now, decided to walk up to Vandenberg's Happy Gas and see Buddy. Buddy had a car, which meant that Moochie, who lived far out on Kingsville Pike, wouldn't have to walk home. It was hard work hitching rides once you got out in the boonies, and the Kingsville Pike was Boondock City. It meant he wouldn't be home until well past dawn, but in cold weather, a sure ride was not to be sneezed at, and Buddy might have a bottle. He had walked a quarter mile from the 376 ramp in the deep single number code, meaning it's single digits, like 9 or something like that. His cleated heels clicked on the deserted sidewalk, his shadow waxing and waning under the eerie orange street lamps, and had still perhaps a mile to go when he saw the car parked at the curb up ahead. Exhaust curled out of his twin pipes and hung in the perfectly still air, clouding it, before drifting lazily away in stacked layers. The grill, bright chrome highlighted with pricks of orange light, looked at him like a grinning idiot mouth. Moochie recognized the car. It was a two-tone Plymouth. In the light of the maximum illumination street lamps, the two tones seemed to be ivory and dried blood. It was Christine. Moochie stopped, and a stupid sort of wonder flooded through him. It was not fear, at least not in that moment. It couldn't be Christine. That was impossible. They had punched a dozen holes in the radiator of Cuntface's car. They had dumped nearly a full bottle of Texas Driver into the car. And Buddy had produced a 5-pound sack of Domino sugar, which he had funneled into the gas tank through Moochie's cupped hands. And all of that was just for starters. But it had demonstrated a kind of furious invention when it came to destroying Cuntface's car. It had left Moochie feeling both delighted and uneasy. All in all, that car should not have moved under its own power for 6 months, if ever. So this could not be Christine. It was some other 58 Fury. Except it was Christine. He knew it. Moochie stood there on the deserted early morning sidewalk, his numb ears poking out from his long hair, his breath pluming frostily in the air. The car sat at the curb facing him, engine growling softly. It was impossible to tell who, if anyone, was behind the wheel. Thank you, Papa. Ooh, that's pretty! I love it. If anyone was behind the wheel. It was parked directly beneath one of the street lights, and the orange glow burned across the glass of the unmarred windshield like a waterproof jack-o'-lantern seen deep down in the dark water. Moochie began to be afraid. He slicked his tongue over dry lips and looked around. To his left was JFK Drive, 6 lanes wide and looking like a dry riverbed at this empty hour of the morning. To his right was a photography shop, orange letters outlined in red spelling Kodak across it. Okay. Letters outlined in red spelling Kodak across his windows. He looked back at the car. It just sat there, idling. He opened his mouth to speak and produced no sound. He tried again and got a croak. Hey, Cunningham. The car sat, seeming to brood, exhaust curling up. The engine rumbled, idling fat on high-test gas. That you, Cunningham? He took one more step. A cleat scraped on cement. His heart was thudding in his neck. He looked around at the street again. Surely another car would come. JFK couldn't be totally deserted even at 1:25 in the morning. Could it? But there were no cars. Only the flat orange glare of the streetlights. Moochie cleared his throat. You ain't mad, are you? Christine's duel suddenly came on, pinning him against the harsh white light. The Fury ripped toward him, peeling out, the tires screaming black slashes of rubber on the pavement. It came with such sudden power that the rear end seemed to squat, like the haunches of a dog preparing to spring. A dog or a she-wolf. The one side wheels jumped up on the pavement and it ran at Moochie that way, offside wheels down, onside wheels up over the curb, canted at an angle. The undercarriage scraped and screeched and shrieked and shot off a swirling flicker of sparks. I'll get you in a minute, Blueberry. Moochie screamed and tried to sidestep. The edge of Christine's bumper barely flickered in his left calf and took a chunk of meat. Warm wetness coursed down his leg and puddled in his shoe. The warmth of his own blood made him realize in a confused way just how cold the night was. He thudded hip first into the doorway of the photo shop, barely missing the plate glass window. Baby, I got you. Okay? I got you. A foot to the left and he would have crashed right through, landing in a litter of Nikons and Polaroid one-steps. He could hear the car's engine suddenly revving. That horrible, unearthly shrieking of the undercarriage on the cement again. Moochie turned around, panting harshly. Christine was reversing back up the gutter. And as it passed him, he saw. There was no one behind the wheel. Panic began to flood in his head. Moochie took on his heels. He ran out into JFK Drive, sprinting for the far side. There was an alley over there between a market and a dry cleaning place. Too narrow for the car, if he could get in there. Change jiggled madly in his pockets, and in 5 or 6 pockets of his army surplus duffel bag, quarters, nickels, dimes, a jingling silver carillon. He pumped his knees almost to his chin. His cleated engineer boots drummed the pavement. His shadow chased him. The car somewhere behind him revved again, fell off, revved again, fell off, and then the motor began to shriek. The tires wailed, and Christine shot at Moochie Welch's back, crossing the lanes of JFK Drive at right angles. Moochie screamed and could not hear himself scream because the car was still peeling rubber. The car was still shrieking like an insanely angry, murderous woman, and that shriek filled the world. His shadow was no longer chasing him. It was leading him, and getting longer. In the window of the dry cleaning shop, he saw great yellow eyes blossom. It wasn't even close. At the very last moment, Moochie tried to jig left, but Christine jigged with him. as if she had read his final desperate thought. The Plymouth hit him squarely, still accelerating, breaking Moochie Welch's back and knocking him spang out of his engineered boots. He was thrown 40 feet into the brick siding of the little market, again narrowly missing a plunge through a plate glass window. The force of this strike was hard enough to cause him to rebound into the street again, leaving a splash of blood on the brick like an ink blot. A picture of it would appear the next day on the front page of the Libertyville Keystone. Christine reversed, screeched to a skidding, sliding stop, and roared forward again. Moochie lay near the curbing, trying to get up. He couldn't get up. Nothing seemed to work. All the signals were scrambled. Bright white light washed over him. "No," he whispered through a mouthful of broken teeth. "No." Bah! The car roared forward and over him. Change flew everywhere. That's some serious shit when you knock the change out of somebody like Sonic. Moochie was pulled and rolled, first one way and then the other, and as Christine reversed into the street again, she stood there, engine revving and falling off to a rich idle, then revving again. She stood there as if thinking. Then she came at him again. She hit him, jumped the curve, skidded around, and then reversed again, thumping back down. She screamed forward and back and forward. Her headlights glared, her exhaust pipes jetted hot blue smoke. The thing in the street no longer looked like a human being. It looked like a scattered bundle of rags. The car reversed a final time, skidded around the half circle, and accelerated, roaring over the bleeding bundle in the street again and going down the drive. The blast of its engine still whining up to full rev, racketing off the walls of the sleeping buildings. Not entirely sleeping now. Lights were beginning to flick on. People who lived over their stores were going to their windows to see what all the wreck had been, and if there had been an accident. One of Christine's headlights had been shattered. Another flickered unsteadily off and on, bleared with a thin wash of Moochie's blood. Asked what's going on. "Thank you, Papa." The grill had been bent inward, and the dents in it approximated the shape and size of Moochie's torso, with a gruesome perfection of a death mask. Blood was splashed across the hood in fans that spread out as wide as wind spread increased. The exhaust had taken on a heavy, blatting sound. One of Christine's two mufflers had been destroyed. Inside on the instrument panel, the odometer continued to run backward, as if Christine were somehow slipping back into time, leaving not only the scene of the hit and run behind, but the actual fact of the hit and run. The muffler was the first thing. Suddenly, that heavy, blatting sound diminished and smoothed out. The fans of blood on the hood began to run toward the front of the car again in spite of the wind, as if a movie film had been reversed. The flickering headlight suddenly shone brightly, and a tenth of a mile later, the dead light became a headlight again. With an unimportant tinkling sound, no more than the sound of a small boy's foot breaking the thin scum of ice of a mud puddle. The glass reassembled itself from nowhere. There was a hollow pump, pump, pump sound from the front end. The sound of denting metal. The sound you sometimes get when you squeeze a beer can. But instead of denting, Christine's grill was popping back out. A body shop veteran with 50 years experience in putting fenders right could not have done it more neatly. Christine turned onto Hampton Street even before the first of those awakened by the screaming of her tires had reached Moochie's remains. The blood was gone. It had reached the front of the hood and disappeared. The scratches were gone. As she rode quietly toward the garage door with its "hunk for entry" sign, there was one final pump as the last dimple, this one in the left front bumper, the spot where Christine had struck Moochie's calf, popped back out. Christine looked like new. That's why I love the book. Honey, now what is your question? My name is, I don't need to know your name. I want to ask, what is the truth behind my connection with Abdullah? We are in no contact. I feel very deeply about him, like otherworldly. Baby, didn't I read you on him before? Thank you, Papa. What I do? Wait, what I do? You should have heard when I did the beginning of it. I had people sitting here like, um, true behind the connection. I hate to break it to you, baby, but I'm gonna go get it and I'm gonna read the beginning of it for you. Hold on. Honestly, honey, the between you two, King of Swords is upright. This is him being logical with his actions. Oh, sorry, honey. Let me know the next time you come on. I'll go get it. Don't hurt nobody now. Sugar Abdullah right now seems to be a very focused man. Power 2, what's going on? Or Power TTG, what's going on? Eight of Pentacles is upright. He is the type that studies. He doesn't, it's not so, there's a difference between researching and studying. Researching means you have no answers and you're trying to get answers. Study means you have all the answers in front of you and you're going over them. Eight of Swords is inverted. Baby, this seems like something you're doing to yourself. Honestly speaking, if he wants it, okay, if he wants you, he will go after you. I don't have to know your birthday or your sign or none of that. I don't know why people do it. To me, that's personal ass information that I just would not give out, and I wouldn't ask people to give it to me. If he wants you, Blueberry, he will come after you. He doesn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to have romance on the brain. He seems to be very business oriented. He's just not thinking about it at all. What kind of reading are you looking for, Papa? Just a general? Okay. Yours, if you haven't. Okay. You got the Hermit upright. The Hermit upright is detachment. This is getting by yourself, being by yourself, being happy with just yourself. It is also detaching from distractions, is detaching from anything and anyone that does no longer serve you. This is about making wise decisions, and right now you need to clear your head and clear your mind. Strength is inverted. You not just feel weak, you feel, and this I always see as like a motherly card, the security that you get from a mother. And I mean a woman who really wants to be a mother, who wants to be there for her kids and is not mentally fucked up. You've been doing that single for a long time, there's a difference. And Papa, with that last name, you should know. There's a difference. This, and since you're saying you're single, I'm assuming this is what you're looking for. This is the lack. This is that security from a woman. This is that safety from a woman. This is that being with someone who knows you in and out. Your other mother, then why is it inverted? This is about lacking that security. This is lacking that safety. This is lacking that strength. This is being less feminine and very masculine. My biological mother's not in my life. Your other mother, would she be what you would consider like how you would see a mother? Because this says you're not feeling it. Your other mother is great. You are looking for this. And the reason I say this, you're looking for this in your spouse. And you said you're single, so this is what you're looking for, hence you going on a date. Though your other mother is your mother, you want this exactly in a wife. You want that security. You want all of that in a woman. This is why this is inverted. Nine of Swords is inverted, so, but as much as you want it, you're not pressed about it, because Nine of Swords being inverted means you're not keeping yourself up at night. You're not fretting about it. You're not worrying about it. Though you would love to have that woman in your life, it's not really phasing you right now. The world is upright. This is the road to El Dorado. You're doing what you need to do. You're on the way to it. You just have to allow it to come to you. When you find her, you'll find her. But right now, you are on the right path for it. That's exactly what that card is, though. That's why I love this deck, because I know most of the stories behind them. Yeah. Arkansas. Let me put my Christine up, because I'll fuck around and skip over finishing it, reading Christine. Oh, and when I say I really love Stephen King, yes, honey. Papa, how much time do you got? Or are you about to hop off? Blueberry, I read you, honey. He's not focusing on it. Date in 30 minutes. Do you want to hear the Georgie scene from it? I didn't ask you if you read it. I said, do you want to hear it? But let me see how. Let me see if you as stubborn as you being on here. Let me see. Oh, you strong minded as hell, and you such a softy. Oh, you such a softy. Oh, you a honey. You a softy. You yeah. You be that type. I have to sit here. It was like, I sit down. We reading this. Um. Mhm. Yeah, you that type. Let me see. What is it? That's six calls. It's not this. Okay. Oh no, this is so in the beginning of this book, you know that it's the two intros to the two it's. So let me see, let me find where his ends. Okay, put my phone down. And I love Stephen King because he uses such good, not just imagery, but I love his vocabulary. Sitting up in bed, his cheeks still flushed with heat, but his fever, like the Kinderskag, Kinderskag, like the Kinderskag, finally receding. Bill had finished the boat, but when George reached for it, Bill held it out of reach. Now, get me the paraffin. What's that? Where is it? It's on the cellar shelf as you go downstairs, Bill said, in a box that says Gulf. Bring that to me. And a knife and a bowl. And a pack of matches. George had gone obediently to get these things. He could hear his mother playing the piano, not for Elise now, but something else he didn't like so well. Something that sounded dry and fussy. He could hear rain flicking steadily against the kitchen windows. These were comfortable sounds, but the thought of the cellar was not a bit comfortable. I can't stand UK. No problem, Blueberry. Just give that boy time. Let him work out what he's working out. He did not like the cellar, and he did not like going down the cellar stairs because he always imagined there was something down there in the dark. That was silly, of course. His father said so, and his mother said so, and even more important, Bill said so. But still, he did not even like opening the door to flick on the light because he always had that idea. This was so exquisitely stupid, he didn't dare tell anyone. That while he was feeling for the light switch, some horrible clawed paw would settle lightly over his wrist and then jerk him down the stairs into the darkness, that smell of dirt and wet and dim rotted vegetables. Stupid. There were no things like claws all hairy and full of killing spite. Every now and then someone went crazy and killed a lot of people. Sometimes Chet Huntley told about such things on the evening news. And of course there were the commies. But there was no weirdo monster living in the cellar. This idea lingered in those interminable moments while he was groping for the switch with his right hand, his left curled around the door jamb in a death grip. That cellar smell seemed to intensify until it filled the world. Smells of dirt and wet and long-gone vegetables would merge into one unmistakable, ineluctable smell. The smell of the monster, the apotheosis of all monsters. It was the smell of something for which he had no name. The smell of it. Crouched and lurking and ready to spring. A creature which would eat anything, but which was especially hungry for boy meat. He had opened the door of that moment and had groped intermittently for the switch, holding the gem in his usual death grip. His eyes squint shut, the tip of his tongue poked from the corner of his mouth like an agonized rootlet searching for water in place of a drought. Funny? Sure, you betcha. Look at you, Georgie. Georgie's scared of the dark. What a baby. The sound of the piano came from what his father called the living room and what his mother called the parlor. It sounded like music from another world, far away, the way talk and laughter on summer crowded beach must sound to an exhausted swimmer who struggles with the undertow. His finger found the switch. Ah! They snapped it. And nothing. No light. Oh, Christ, the power! George snatched his arm back as if from a basket filled with snakes. He stepped back from the open cellar door, his heart harrowing in his chest. The power was out, of course. He had forgotten the power was out. Jeezly crow, what now? Go back and tell Bill he couldn't get the box of paraffin because the power was out and he was afraid of something that might get him as he stood on the cellar stairs? Something that wasn't a commie or a mass murderer, but a creature much worse than that? That it would simply slither part of its rotted self up between the stair rises and grab his ankle? That would go over big, wouldn't it? Others might laugh at such a fantasy, but Bill wouldn't laugh. Bill would be mad. Bill would say, "Grow up, Georgie. Do you want this boat or not?" As if this thought were his cue, Bill called from the bedroom. Did you die out there, Georgie? No, I'm getting it, Bill. George called it back at once. He rubbed his arms trying to make the guilty goose flesh disappear and the smooth skin again. I just stopped to get a drink of water. Well, hurry up. So he walked down the 4 steps of the cellar. To the cellar shelf, his heart a warm, beating hammer in his throat. The hair on the nape of his neck standing at attention, his eyes hot, his hands cold. Sure that any moment the cellar door would swing shut on its own, closing off the white light through the kitchen windows. What's going on, baby girl? And then he would hear it. Something worse than all the commies and murderers in the world, worse than the Japs, worse than Attila the Hun, worse than the somethings in 100 horror movies. It growling deeply. He would hear the growl in those lunatic seconds before it pounced on him and unzipped his guts. The cellar smell was worse than ever today because of the flood. Leonardo, what's going on? Their house was high on Hitcham Street, near the crest of the hill. And they had escaped the worst of it, but there was still standing water down there that had seeped in through the old rock foundations. The smell was low and unpleasant, making you want to take only the shallowest of breaths. Imani, what's going on? George sifted through the junk on the shelf as fast as he could. Old cans of kiwi shoe polish and shoe polish rags, a broken kerosene lamp, 2 mostly empty bottles of Windex, an old flat can of turtle wax. For some reason, this can struck him, and he spent nearly 30 seconds looking at the turtle on the lid with a kind of hypnotic wonder. Jackie, what's going on? Then he tossed it back. And here it was at last, a square box with the word Gulf on it. George snatched it up and ran up the stairs as fast as he could, suddenly aware that his shirt tail was out and suddenly sure that his shirt tail would be his undoing. The thing in the cellar would allow him to get almost all the way out. And then it would grab the tail of his shirt and snatch him back, and he reached the kitchen and swept the door shut behind him. It banged gustily. He leaned back against it with his eyes closed. Sweat popped out on his arms and forehead, the box of paraffin gripped tightly in one hand. The piano had come to a stop, and his mother's voice floated to him. Georgie, can you just slam that door a little harder next time? Maybe you should break some plates in the Welsh dresser, if you really tried. Sorry, Mom, he called back. Georgie, you waste, Bill said from his bedroom. He pitched his voice low so their mother would not hear. Georgie snickered a little. His fear was already gone. It had slipped away from him as easily as the nightmare slips from a man who wakes, cold-skinned and gasping from his grip, who feels his body and stares at his surroundings to make sure that none of it ever happened, and who then begins at once to forget it. Half is gone by the time his feet hit the floor, 3/4 of it by the time he emerges from the shower and begins to towel off, all of it by the time he finishes his breakfast. All gone. Until the next time when, in the grip of nightmare, all fears will be remembered. That turtle, Georgie thought, going to the counter drawer where the matches were kept. Where did I see a turtle like that before? But no answer came, and he dismissed the question. He got a pack of matches from the drawer and a knife from the rack, holding the sharp edge studiously away from his body as his dad had taught him, and a small bowl from the Welsh dresser in the dining room. Then he went back to Bill's room. What an a-hole you are, Georgie, Bill said, amiably enough, and pushed back some of his sick stuff on the night table. An empty glass, a pitcher of water, Kleenex, books about Vicks vapor rub, the smell of which Bill would associate all his life with thick, phlegmy coughs and snotty noses. The old Philco radio was there too, playing not Chopin or Bach, but Little Richard tune. Very softly, however, so softly that Little Richard was robbed of all his raw elemental power. Their mother, who had studied classical piano at Juilliard, hated rock and roll. She not merely disliked it, she abominated it. I'm no a-hole, George said, sitting on the edge of Bill's bed and putting the things he had gathered on the night table. Yes, you are. Nothing but a big brown a-hole. That's you. George tried to imagine a kid who was nothing but a big brown a-hole on legs and began to giggle. Your a-hole is bigger than Augusta, Bill said, beginning to giggle too. Your a-hole is bigger than the whole state, George replied. This broke both the boys up in minutes. Skipping to this is when this is the running part. Now here he was chasing his boat down the left side of Witcham Street. He was running fast, but the water was running faster, and his boat was pulling ahead. He heard a deepening roar and saw that 50 yards farther down the hill, the water in the gutter was cascading into a storm drain that was still open. It was a long, dark semicircle cutting into the curbing, and as George watched, a strip branch, its bark as dark as and glistening as sealskin, shot into the storm drain's maw. It hung up there for a moment and then slipped down inside. That was where his boat was headed. "Oh, shit and Shanola!" he yelled, dismayed. What the fuck is shit and Shanola? But okay. He put on speed, and for a moment he thought he would catch the boat. Then one of his feet slipped, and he went sprawling, skinning one knee and crying out in pain. "Hey, Wiz, what's going on?" Or Quiz, whichever one. From his new pavement-level perspective, he watched his boat swing round once, twice, momentarily caught in another whirlpool, and then disappeared. "Shit and Shanola!" he yelled again, and slammed his fist down on the pavement. That hurt too, and he began to cry a little. What a stupid way to lose that boat. He got up and walked over to the storm drain. He dropped to his knees and peered in. The water made a dank, hollow sound as it fell into the darkness. It was a spooky sound. It reminded him of... The sound was jerked out of him as if on a string, and he recoiled. There were yellow eyes in there. The sort of eyes he always imagined but never actually seen down in the basement. "It's an animal," he thought incoherently. "That's all it is. Some animal. Maybe a house cat that got stuck in there." Still, he was ready to run. Would run in a second or two when his mental switchboard had dealt with the shock of those two shiny yellow eyes had given him. He felt the rough surface of the macadam, under his fingers, and then the thin sheet of cold water flowing around them. He saw himself getting up and backing away, and that was when a voice, a perfectly reasonable and rather pleasant voice, spoke to him from inside the storm drain. "Hey, Georgie," it said. George blinked and looked again. He could barely credit what he saw. It was like something from a made-up story, or a movie where, the animals would talk and dance. If he had been 10 years older, he would not have believed what he was seeing, but he was not 16, he was 6. There was a clown in the storm drain. "Big Vernon, what's going on?" The light in there was far from good, but it was good enough so that George Denborough was sure of what he was seeing. It was a clown, like in the circus or on TV. In fact, he looked like a cross between Bozo and Clarabelle, who talked by honking his horn. Or was it her? George was never really sure of the gender. On Howdy Doody, Saturday morning. Buffalo Bob was just about the only one who could understand Clarabelle, and that always cracked George up. The face of the clown in the storm drain was white. There were funny tufts of red hair on either side of his bald head, and there was a big clown smile painted over his mouth. If George had been inhabiting a later year, he would have surely thought of Ronald McDonald before Bozo or Clarabelle. The clown held a bunch of balloons, all colors, like gorgeous ripe fruit in one hand. In the other hand, he held George's newspaper boat. "Want your boat, Georgie?" The clown smiled. George smiled back. He couldn't help it. It was the kind of smile you just had to answer to. "I sure do," he said. The clown laughed. "I sure do. That's good. That's very good. And how about a balloon?" "Well, sure." He reached forward and then drew his hand back reluctantly. "I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers. My dad said so." "Very wise of your dad," the clown said in the storm drain, smiling. How, George wondered, could I have thought his eyes were yellow? They were bright dancing blue, the color of his mom's eyes and Bill's. "Very wise indeed. Therefore, I will introduce myself. I, Georgie, am Mr. Bob Gray, also known as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Pennywise, me Georgie. George Denborough. George, me Pennywise. And now we know each other. I'm not a stranger to you, and you're not a stranger to me. Correct? George giggled. I guess so. He reached forward again and drew back his hand again. How did you get down there? Storm just blew me away, Pennywise the Dancing Clown said. It just blew the whole circus away. Can you smell the circus, Georgie? George leaned forward. Suddenly he could smell peanuts. Hot roasted peanuts and vinegar. The white kind you put on your french fries through a hole in the cap. He could smell cotton candy and frying doughboys and the faint but thunderous odor of wild animal shit. He could smell the cheery aroma of midway sawdust. And yet under it all was the smell of flood and decomposing leaves and dark storm drain shadows. That smell was wet and rotten. The cellar smell. But the other smells were stronger. You bet I can smell it. Want your boat, Georgie? Pennywise asked. I only repeat myself because you really do not seem that eager. He held it up smiling. He was wearing a baggy silk suit with big, great orange buttons. A bright tie, electric blue, plopped down down his front, and on his hands were big white gloves, like the kind Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck always wore. Yeah, sure, George said, looking to the storm's drain. And the balloon? I've got red and green and yellow and blue. Do they float? Float? The clown's grin widened. Oh, yes, indeed they do. They float. And there's cotton candy. George reached. The clown seized his arm, and George saw the clown's face change. What he saw then was terrible enough to make his worst imaginings of the thing in the cellar look like sweet dreams. What he saw destroyed his sanity in one clawing stroke. They float. The thing in the drain crooned in a clotted, chuckling voice. It held George's arm in its thick and wormy grip. It pulled George down toward the terrible darkness where the water rushed and roared and bellowed as if it bore its cargo up storm debris toward the sea. George craned his neck away from that final blackness and began to scream into the rain, to scream mindlessly into the white autumn sky, which curved around Derry. And on that day in the fall of 1957, his screams were shrill and piercing, and all up and down Witcham Street, people came to their windows or bolted out into the porches. They float, it growled. They float, Georgie. And when you're down here with me, you'll float too. George's shoulder socked against the cement of the curb, and Dave Gardner, who stayed home from his job at the shoe boat that day because of the flood, saw only a small boy in yellow rain slicker. A small boy who was screaming and writhing in the gutter with muddy water surfing over his face and making his screams suddenly bubble. Everything down here floats, that chuckling, rotten voice whispered, and suddenly there was a ripping noise and a flaring sheet of agony, and George Denborough knew no more. Dave Gardner was the first to get there, and although he arrived only 45 seconds after the first scream, George Denborough was already dead. Gardner grabbed him by the back of his slicker, pulled him onto the street, and began to scream himself as George's body turned over in his hands. The left side of George's slicker was now bright red. Blood flowed into the storm drain from the tattered hole where his left arm had been. A knob of bone, horribly bright, peeked from the torn cloth. The boy's eyes stared up into the white sky, and as Dave staggered around toward the others already running pell-mell down the street, they began to fill up with rain. I love Stephen King. Nihi, Seven, and Yanni, what's going on, honey? it. The books are so much better than the movies. You would think, but well, I guess that's still too graphic to show on TV nowadays. Perch, what's going on? Or Perk Franklin, what's going on? Magical, what's going on? So, anyone have any questions? Other than if they float? Do I get back my son? What you think this is? Super live girl, what's going on? Oh, I think that scared people reading the it part. See, now I gotta get Dr. Sleep. Do I have that? Can you have some wood? I don't think I have Dr. Sleep. My gum. Let's see. I want the book. I have The Shining. They actually got The Shining, and it's pretty damn cheap. I got Pet Cemetery. I think I have Outside. Oh, do I have? I have Carrie. I got Misery. I got Cujo. I got The Mist. If I'm right. Do I have? Hold on. Where are you? That's Gerard's game. Damn it! I don't have it. Ugh. You know what? I need to write down a list of all the Stephen King books, print it out. I need to cross off which ones I have. Miss Benjamin, what's going on, honey? I need the complete order of it. Mm-mm. See y'all trying. Okay, okay, here we go. The chronological list of his published books. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Parent. We will see. Hold up. Is this gonna be in the way? Get this shit off this damn screen. Okay. And with that. Nope. Okay. Junie, what's going on? Lopez, what's going on? You fuck around and surprise me with the whole Stephen King collection. Honey? What's going on, Junie? And we're chilling? Hey. Work smart, not hard. Ain't mad at you. Oh, see, Dr. Sleep is the last book he wrote. I'm good, sugar. I'm just looking at my Stephen King collection, trying to see which ones I don't have, so I can finish my collection. Oh, that damn picture part. Okay, is it gonna be on here? 2013. Oh, see, they have all. Oh, so this only has. Why would I have cavities? Gum doesn't give you cavities. Yep, Richard Bachman. That's the other name that he used. Stephen King wrote a total of 63 novels, about 120 short stories. Where is my pen? Okay. see what I have. Lights. Okay. I have Carrie. Damn, I don't have Carrie? Oh, that will not do. That will not do at all. Stand. I have so many good ones missing. How dare? Oh, this will not do. Mm-mm. Oh, I got that. I don't have the Langoliers. Ugh. This is just so upsetting. Purple Squirrel, what's going on? The Luxie, what's going on? I cannot believe the ones that I do not have. Dre, what's going on? I think I got the Bachman books though. I got Thinner. Got the Talisman. Got Christine. I don't always pick a pen that's about to run out. Got the Cell. Got Bag of Bones. Alright, I have Hearts. Where's Under the Dome? Oh, got that. Meek, Gaylord, what's going on? Got Pet Cemetery. Got the Tommy Knockers. I remember seeing that. I am so baffled that I do not have. How do I not have Carrie? Leah, what's going on? Salem's Lot, the shine. I can't believe the books that I do not have. How dare I? Oh, okay. So the Bachman books. I had to find those. Because those are the ones he wrote under a pen name. I have not been to that thrift store in a while because people throw away some really good books. The Bachman books, those are 7 books. Let me see. Because I know this would be like, oh, if you're not in on the screen for a while, it'll do some dumb shit. I don't know. Let me see here if I can get these books. How dare I not have? Oh my god, I do have Blaze. Okay, that's Richard Bachman. Where did I see? There it is. Um, Black what? Black House. Roadhouse. The Sale. Mm-hmm. Christine Cujo. Where's Cujo on the list? Okay. Oh, I got the dark half. Yeah, yeah. Dead Zone. Okay, what's this one? Okay, got that. Dreamcatcher. Oh shit, I missed this one. What's this? I have the Dark Tower. That's crazy. Fire starter. 4 past midnight. Drogen. The, oh, okay. Is this a later book or something? The girl who loved Tom Gordon. Oh, that I got it. Ha ha. Hearts in Atlantis. Misery, Needful Things. Wait, is this the collection or I have to look? Tay, Sear, and Dean. What's going on, honey? Where's Wizard and Glass? Wizard and Glass must be part of the Dark Tower series. Dan, what's going on? EJ, what's going on? Unless Wizard and Glass is not his. Oh shit, I gotta find out which Dark Tower I have. Oh, I'm gonna be hard pressed to find that. That's the comic. Ah, so Wizard and Glass is part of Dark Tower. Can I write it on? See here. Okay. Let's see. Ugh, what's going on? Let's see. Okay. Breeze, what's going on? Zan Page, what's going on? Hmm. think I only have the Dark Tower and Wizards of Glass. So I got 6 more of these I gotta get. Actually 7, because that has a revised version. I'm shocked that I don't have the first 4, which is Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, and Rage. How do I not have those? Princess Ebony was yep, Ebony. I said Ebony. Ebony. What's going on? And you know what? I've been on here my 2 hours, so I'm about to go. I have some things to look for and look up. So we thank you for joining us in the Shadow Gallery. The lights are out, the doors are closing. The Hellpaw Pulls graciously and gratefully escort you on out the door. Please do not trip on your way out. They do not care. They will catch you out like a bag of bones or runes. If you would like to book your private session, buy your live pools, purchase your readings or your regular sessions, send donations, Cash App, PayPal. I have the links directly on there. You may do so at my website, www.MadamShadO.com. No W in Shad'O. If you put a W in Shad'O, not where you go, where you end up. Of course, love me, like me, share me, subscribe to me, turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. Join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Big O. If you're on Big O, by all means, wear my tag loudly and proudly, sugars. Any energetic beings that are here that are not welcome here, that are not supposed to be here, and that are not even assigned to be here, you do not have to go home, but you do have to get the hell out of here. And I have some researching to do. So, I thank y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Later.